So today we will be discussing a new topic, that is blood coagulation, right?
Yes, sir.
Blood coagulation, if we define blood coagulation, it is the transformation of liquid blood into a solid gel. Into a solid gel. That solid gel is called clot. देखो transformation of liquid blood into a solid gel. Plasma भी है, plasma into a solid gel. Into a solid gel called as clot, which is called clot. And the process is called coagulation, right? Coagulation में क्या होता है? What happens during the time of coagulation? कब coagulation होती है? When we get injured, when there is any trauma, any accident, external injury is there. Injury में क्या होता है? Injury, bleeding. What? जब इंजरी होती तो कंटिन्यूअसली blood flow हो जाता है. When there is an injury, blood flows, there is a bleeding, and after some time you see there is a small clot-like structure that appears on the site of injury. After injury, bleeding takes place. After some time, what happens? Bleeding is stopped due to the formation of small brownish suckle-like structure, which is called clot. Right? Yes, sir. So we'll see in this lecture how the clot is actually formed. Right? Yes, sir. See here. And I'll be repeating again. Clotting is what? It is the transformation of liquid blood plasma into a solid gel. See here. This is the blood capillary, right?
Yes, sir.
What is this? Blood capillary. You see these cells, right? And the epithelium of the blood capillary is called endothelium. इसको क्या कहते हैं? Endothelium. What is this? This is endothelium. Endothelium, right? This structure over here is the structure of blood capillary, right? If you recap the previous lecture, we discussed some days ago blood. We discussed blood. What is blood? Blood components, right? It's a fluid. It has got two components. One is plasma. Blood here. This is blood, right? You find two components. One is plasma. Second is formed elements. If you see the formed elements, RBCs, erythrocytes. WBCs, leukocytes, and platelets, thrombocytes. ठीक है? And we have already discussed it in detail. But here the plasma portion, it contains protein. Some of the proteins like albumin protein, right? You also find globulin protein, you find fibrinogen, and so many other proteins as well, right? See here, this is the blood capillary, right? And the liquid portion of the blood is called
Plasma.
क्या है? Plasma. This is
Plasma.
Liquid portion of blood is plasma. And you also find the cells. Some cells like this, different cells. Those are called formed elements, right?
Yes, sir.
See, when there is an injury, what happens? a blood vessel is ruptured, when there is any injury, blood vessel is ruptured,
Diffused to the blood.
what happens? Blood vessel is ruptured. And once the blood vessel is ruptured, there is a bleeding. There is the flow of blood. But after some time, you find a clot-like structure appears on the surface of injury. जहाँ इंजरी होती है, वहाँ पे क्लॉट फॉर्मेशन होता है. देखो ये क्लॉट फॉर्मेशन कैसे होता है? देखो इंजरी के एट द टाइम ऑफ इंजरी यहाँ से कुछ सेल्स आते हैं, they get accumulated at the site of injury.
Yes, sir.
These cells are called platelets, right?
Yes, sir.
Platelets get accumulated, right? Once these platelets are accumulated, यहाँ देखो पहले injury, right?
Yes, sir.
See, injury. What? Injury और trauma होता है, accident होता है, कुछ होता है, तो at that time injury होती है. Injury के after injury, inside the ruptured blood vessels, platelets are stimulated. What? P-L-A-T-L-E-T-S. Platelets.
Stimulate.
Platelets stimulated. Platelets stimulated. Once the platelets are stimulated,
Tissue factor.
they release a factor which is called
Tissue factor.
tissue factor. What? Tissue. Tissue factor third, right? And this tissue factor is also called
Thromboplastin.
Thromboplastin. Thromboplastin.
Thromboplastin.
Thromboplastin. What? Tissue factor is what? And which cells release tissue factor? Stimulated platelets release tissue factor. This thromboplastin,
Enzyme.
this thromboplastin, see here, converts an inactive
Thrombokines.
enzyme, that is
Thrombokines.
prothrombin into thrombin
Thrombokines.
by means of an enzyme called
Thrombokines.
thrombokinase, right? What? Thrombokinase. You will also find this thrombokinase catalyze the reaction in presence of Ca2 positive. Calcium divalent, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a metallic ion. It, in presence of this metallic ion, it converts prothrombin into thrombin. If you see the prothrombin is synthesized from which organ of the blood? Or organ of the body? That is liver. It is synthesized from liver, right? Once this thrombin is formed, it is an active enzyme. Active. This is inactive. Right? This is inactive. What happens? This thrombin is converted into fibrin. By converting fibrinogen, fibrinogen to fibrin. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
This fibrinogen is an inactive. ये inactive है,
Yes.
right? Inactive substance, and this is active. ये active है. Then fibrin, see here, this fibrin undergoes cross-linking. Fibrin cross links are formed, and finally leads to the formation of clot. You see the series of reactions, right? From tissue factor to the formation of clot, you find a series of reactions. First reaction is prothrombin is converted into thrombin. Then by means of this thrombin, fibrinogen is converted into fibrin, right? Then fibrin crosslinks are formed finally clot. And this series of reactions is called a cascade. Okay? Sometimes the coagulation is also called coagulation cascade. What? Coagulation cascade. Coagulation cascade, right? Cascade. You see, once the clot is formed, see here, this is the site of injury. You will find fibrin crosslinks. इस तरह के fibrin crosslinks बनते हैं, right? And these fibrin meshwork finally forms a clot and stops bleeding. Right? This clot formation, now it is completed. Sometimes the part of the clot is diffused into the blood, and that part of clot is called thrombus. What? Thrombus. This thrombus is a very dangerous substance that is formed during the process of clot formation, right? If this thrombus, it travels to the blood vessels, it travels to the blood vessels. If it travels to the blood vessels of the brain, it may block the blood flow, right? And may cause sudden death. Death. Now you get it?
Yes,
Understand?
sir. Yes, sir.
See again here. Now this is completed here. During the coagulation reaction, blood clotting, there is the role of clotting factors. See here different types of clotting factors. Different types of clotting factors. Different types of clotting factors. What? Different types of clotting factors. These clotting factors are very important for the formation of clot. Like we mentioned here, one of the clotting factor, that is fibrinogen, prothrombin, thromboplastin. See here, first clotting factor. First, second, third, fourth. See most important ones जो आपके NCERT में हैं, available हैं, but you are not supposed to discuss all the clotting factors. See some of the important clotting factors, that is fibrinogen is first. Fibrinogen is one of the clotting factors. It is the first clotting factor. And second is prothrombin. Prothrombin, right?
Yes, sir.
Third is thromboplastin. And fourth one is calcium. See here, if we see the fibrinogen, the fibrinogen here this is the clotting factor first. Okay? And if you see the prothrombin, this is prothrombin, right? And if you see the thromboplastin, this is the thromboblast. It is the tissue factor, which is clotting factor third. Clotting factor third. Calcium is another. It is also considered as one of the clotting factor. We also mentioned it. It is the calcium that causes the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Right? These are different. If you see the fifth one, that is proaccelerant. And sixth one is accelerant. Right? Accelerant. उसके बाद you will find seventh one, that is stable stable factor. And seventh one is, what is seventh one? If you remember, anti-hemophilic factor. Anti-hemophilic factor, बोलो. Anti-hemophilic factor A. Anti-hemophilic factor A. देखो, you are not concerned with the anti-hemophilic factor A, anti-hemophilic factor B, anti-hemophilic factor C, right? And which is also called the crystal mass factor. There is the 10th, that is Stott power factor है, Hedman factor है. Finally जो अलग बनते हैं, last one 13, that is fibrin stabilizing factor. ठीक है? So देखो, for studying all the factors, I will provide you a paper in which all the factors will be written, right? Will be available. अब यहाँ हमने वो सारे factors discuss नहीं करने. The most important factors are fibrinogen, prothrombin, thrombin, calcium, and fibrin stabilizing factor, right? You got it? And see here one more thing. That is the role of vitamin. Exactly, the role of vitamin. Role of vitamin C. What is the role of vitamin C? क्या है? This C role of vitamin K. C का रोल यहाँ नहीं है. क्या हो गया? C का रोल यहाँ नहीं है. It is the role of vitamin K. Vitamin K is important for the synthesis of prothrombin. देखो ये prothrombin कहाँ synthesis होता है? कहाँ synthesize होता है? इस synthesis के लिए विटामिन का होना जरूरी है. That is vitamin K. क्या उसको कहते हैं? Vitamin K. This is liver. This is fibrin stabilizing factor. This is the last factor, right? Fibrin stabilizing factor. So, what is the role of vitamin K? It is important for blood coagulation. कैसे है? Because it helps in the synthesis of prothrombin in the liver, right? So, what are anticoagulants? What are anticoagulants?
That prevents clotting.
See here, anticoagulants. What? Anticoagulants. देखो, anticoagulants are the substance
That prevents clotting.
that prevent clotting. That prevent
Clotting.
ये किसको प्रिवेंट करते हैं? क्लॉटिंग. इसका मतलब ये है कि ये जो एंटीकोगुलेंट्स होते हैं, ये वो सब्सटेंस हैं जो क्लॉटिंग को प्रिवेंट करते हैं, जो क्लॉटिंग नहीं करने देते. They block the clotting. One of the anticoagulant is heparin. Heparin. It is also called a natural anticoagulant. What? Natural anti. Why it is called natural anticoagulant? Why it is called natural anticoagulant? Because it prevents the formation of clots. It prevents the formation of coagulation in our blood vessels. हमारे blood vessels में जो blood होता है वो coagulate नहीं होता. That is not coagulated, and that is because of this heparin, right?
Yes, sir.
You might have heard about sodium citrate. Citrate और एक EDTA. ठीक है? These are two different chemicals. You know, when you give blood sample to doctor. आप blood sample दे दो किसको? डॉक्टर को for any test. कोई टेस्ट करना होता है, CBC आप करते हो, थायराइड टेस्ट करते हो, whatever you do, whatever the test is, जिसमें आप blood sample देते हो, डॉक्टर क्या करता है? They takes blood and puts into a test tube. But before putting blood into it, डॉक्टर क्या करता है? ये इसमें क्या डालता है? सोडियम साइट्रेट एंड EDTA. क्या? सोडियम साइट्रेट और EDTA. जब इसमें ये डालता है कौन? डॉक्टर, तो इट प्रिवेंट्स द कोagulation ऑफ ब्लड इन द टेस्ट ट्यूब्स. बिकॉज ये दो सब्सटेंस है, ये EDTA और ये दे एक्ट एज कीलेटिंग एजेंट. Chelating agent. What is chelating agent? ये chelating agent जो है, it binds calcium 2 positive. जब इसके साथ bind करता है, इसको पकड़ के रखता है, तो what happens? And it will stop the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. And from this, all the reactions will be blocked. And once the reactions are blocked, there is no clot formation, and that is why the sodium citrate and EDTA are used to prevent the coagulation of blood in testes, right? And with this, we have finished blood coagulation, right?
Yes, sir.